find their footing on this global stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy that once again on day one of Masters, just like Santiago, it's going to be these two teams squaring off. So a lot here to prove for XLG in particular, for their region, for themselves, for the fans here in London, to do something to show that there's still some hope for this squad that's been making it to international events out of their region time and time again, but can't do anything. But what a difficult opponent they have to go up against in NRG. Going back to the comp that was their bread and butter at Champions last year.
And Molly's out and be able to find quite a bit of damage. Player's going to be tagged here. Scribble around the corner. It's going to be Mata down versus Nomad, able to strike. We're splitting over to XLG, and that's just going to be a bit of a stalemate on the back end. As NRG will pump the brakes. They're going to cut the noise and then maybe slowly scale back up towards A.
This is going to be one of those things that NRG might have to adapt a little bit to, is that Phoenix that's going to be taking a lot of control over there at A, already causing a little bit of problems on top of getting revealed by Leo's haunt. So slowed things up, but XLG expecting a rotate. Instead, Ethan calls for the slight pause into a re-hit towards A.
I mean, XLG, they're kind of going to be reading that this is going to be a split through mid, so they have some security because of that Vice wall, but with all of NRG just slow walking forward up into this A side, this makes them quite favored here. It's the pressure going to be applied to WS Leo, tucked away at dugout. Nebula gonna bloom, he catches a glimpse, a couple shots gonna go ringing through, but unable to find that contact. The shock dart not gonna go deep enough to get the damage, but there's the reveal, and Ethan's able to collect one. Noman, however,
30 seconds left.
Gets himself another elimination as Kiko will get taken down, and the spike now going to be committed to.
I need a concealment.
Ethan gets that in play, but 3v4 to try to hold the line. Low health here. That's gonna be Brock and Scuba able to collect a couple kills, but now Scuba just down to his lonesome. Some damage gonna be found. Swing in the corner, isolates it into a 1v1. Lyser on the other side, the swing and the shots whiffing. Tucks back, wanting to try to get concussed through, but Scuba is ahead of it. Dodges it, finds the headshot, and pulls off the Red Bull clutch to rescue the round.
This is a really nice call and a really nice play from Scuba. Some great stuff from Ethan, though, being patient, understanding the map read, just waiting XLG out. They spread, he doubles down, and he still has this drone. Huge there. You know, a nice little timing for Leo, but he's not really able to get much out of it. And this is one of the problems with NRG when you're going up against them with this composition, is they're so disciplined with the drones. They'll take their time, they'll use one, they'll wait you out, and they'll save the next one for later in the round, where a lot of teams might kind of overcommit them early. NRG very, very patient with this double initiator composition.
They're going to be leaning in towards the stack. It's going to be Leo alone on that A side of the map yet again. Drone only able to spot out one. Meanwhile, Mata just going for a quick entry through street. We'll push up, swing in the corner. Scuba not done yet. He's able to find that kill. Collects a weapon, but two very nice shots from Nomad will allow for those weapons to be recovered. And then suddenly, this starts looking all the more rocky for NRG. Down a player again.
Drone is down.
Now your firepower pretty weakened. Trying to get back there, get to that spike, which is down in the back corner, and XLG can just hold the line here. You have a little bit from Kiko to maybe try to help you clear this, but it's going to be tough.
And just tossing that weaponry around, trying to make sure that they have those guns in the healthier hands. Meanwhile, Leo slowly just joining in, ensures that there's not going to be this late flank coming through. And how are you meant to get back into this one for NRG?
We'll find out.
It's going to have to be a 3-2-1 go. Swing in this corner. Jump peek going to be leading the way. Kiko the first to fall. That's going to be the Vandal down. Ethan is able to find Noman, finishing off that low HP Jet, but they are no closer to finding this round, to finding this spike. It has eluded them, and what a rally back. What a response. A MasterCard thrifty for XLG to tie it 1-1.
This is just crazy good stuff from Noman. Getting onto that entry duelist, some questions about it. How is he going to be able to thrive on that Jet? Well, if you're hitting shots like that with a Sheriff, and this team loves to get on their feet.
Come on! Let's go, baby! Come on!
It's got to feel good for Noman.
That's a massive swing round, but NRG are still buying into this. You see the weaponry, full half armors, and there's an outlaw in the hands of Nomad to wreak havoc.
That's a big commit from NRG there. Maybe a little over-eager to take those contact fights over at Long B. Maybe not expecting that there'd be that many players from XLG in the previous round, but still, a lot of damage can be done. Mata, one of the best waylays in the world, looking to try to squeeze his way forward. XLG willing to give up a little bit of space here, but playing for pretty fast contact.
Up and over the check in the dugout. Will just take that refract out the safety. Gets a spot on the one. So Raga going to be noted, but he's going to be able to find Ethan at the same time. Kiko going to be answering back. Raga now going to be taking down Lysor. Eliminated as well. So we get brought into a 3v3. And now a 3v2. Kiko, a solid shot. Displaces Leo. It's Happy Way and No Man to try to get this retake going, but now you start becoming less favored with this outlaw in play. But Mata, if he's just going to give you an angle like that, then hell yeah, you can find value. Rock will have that cover. Swing around the back. Happy Way. Once again, able to get that spike down onto the floor. Some minor damage suffered here by Brock. Quick clear of the recon. He doesn't have any additional utility. Trying to play his way back in, but Brock will just stand tall. Finds a 3K, and we're just going to be ping-ponging back and forth as NRG once again get the lead.
What a call here to go for the force-up. And the trades are really nice for NRG. A great bait and switch from Mata to tee up Kiko there over at Flowers. That was really nice. Use those sound cues a little bit against XLG. And they fell for it when the smoke dissipated, but No Man will have his Blade Storm coming into this round. Only a Spectre for Leo. No kills found just yet. Leo at times was just an absolute clutch machine for XLG. Over in China, Scuba and Ethan as well, just on the submachine guns.
Tony's down.
A little bit of a spot there, but that's just Ethan trying to sell a bit of a fake, trying to open up some space, but this is what makes this NRG comp so difficult. Two drones on different sides of the map. You're not entirely sure which way they're going, so XLG just gonna stand pat with their 3-2.
Mind you, was also able to spot out at least the two players on that A side of the map. Given that the Molly had been invested, Mata just trying to dive forward over towards Halls. Gets slowed up by the concuss, but he's quickly wrapping around the back here, looking for Lysor, and we'll be able to have him. Happy Way gonna be good for one. Vice is gonna be traded out on either side. The cuts now gonna be called in from Scuba. Trying to make this site retake unassailable. Quick peek in, No Man unable to find anything, burns that tailwind. And Widely just have to wait this out. Meanwhile, Raga around the back looks like he is going to be noted, as you do have the jiggle peeks here from Brock. Now they have the full confirmation. Dodge of the stun, the wall to fall. Cosmic Divide no longer in play. Raga getting closer and closer, but it's gonna be Ethan striking out, finding No Man. Leo now dead, and it is all on Raga's shoulders, and he cannot bear the weight. 4 players surviving. NRG now expanding this lead up 3-1.
And this is really nice stuff from NRG in terms of understanding some of their opponent's tendencies and how they can use that against them a little bit. So here they're going to split the initiators, get the info that the Phoenix is over at A. So far, XLG has been showing that they're going to stack their heavy side with the Phoenix. That allows NRG the comfort to keep pushing steadily forward towards this B site. Rely on Mata to be that sharp decision maker, that sharp aimer that he is, to clear that space for you in back alley. And he executes it really, really nicely. Here again, same setup early though for NRG. Doubt they're gonna quite commit to it the same. They're gonna be taking their time, looking for an early pick with Mata's rifle. Got a little bit of backup there to help him just in case. No Man will have the Marshal in his hands. Otherwise, it's just a couple bandits, couple sheriffs. Raga does have his ult.
Okay, we'll be a bit off on that one, so Lysor able to just skirt away over to safety. We'll re-wrap back up in towards that tower position. They continue to scale forward here. Happy Way getting himself a kill, would have the Steel Garden online. Bring this back to parity between the weaponry. And the shock darts are not going to be connecting onto either of these thorns. So the full setup from this defensive Vice still going to be intact, as he will get spotted on the corner, but NRG maybe starting to reassess here. As they slow things down, they once again start backpedaling with the spike in hand.
They've given up so much map control for this though. So this is going to be a real mess. XLG, a great counter setup here, anticipating that NRG is going to be forced over towards this B side again, where Raga is.
Trying to push these players out into the open. Will be able to displace him from the back. Halls, and what a reveal! Unable to clear the dart.
30 seconds
Brock
left.
just lights him up. They collect the eliminations very swiftly after. Spike now to be in play, and Steel Guard be damn no longer available, and Scuba is watching the flanks. NRG are looking to get this 4th round win on the board in flawless fashion. They will have Mata positioned forward, and they have a very strong idea of where Leo is at.
I'm just gonna have to wait him out here, but my word, what timing there from Brock.
Don't want to give him the freebie weapon. Would love to get that conversion pass online, but Mata will just go ahead, slowly slink away back over towards B long with NRG looking very on point here these last 2 rounds. Very concise. They now have a 3-round lead up out in front of XLG. We're going to be struggling as they go back into another bye.
Yeah, and I think this might be a good time for Havoya to call a timeout because you're going to have a lot of big ults for both teams coming into this. So a really pivotal round in this half is looming already, where you're talking about how there's, you know, 1 away from a convergent pass. Well, guess what? Brock also 1 away from his ult from the Hunter's Fury. Ethan already has the Armageddon. So you're looking at a really strong round for NRG coming up potentially. But on your side, you have the Vice ult, you have Rarga's ult, and you have Lysor's ult. So you've got a bunch to work with. And I think this is a really opportune moment to clear a drone somewhere. You know, you'll see players jump up on top of that box on long B. I'm pretty sure that's kind of where No Man's thinking right now, to get that early deep angle so you can clear those drones or clear a player who tries to cut through there and take control of that space early and then rely on the combo on the other side. Ethan there.
Got grabbed, but he's able to avoid the molly.
Just barely.
Not going to be able to come away with that early value here. Drone just getting the spot out, and we're talking about it, that ping-ponging back and forth, and already it will be the pivot, the operator shifting back across towards this A side of the map. Meanwhile, scale forward. Arga here in Art throwing out that curveball, but the counter flashes in. He and Leo trying to backpedal, but Leo going to get dropped as Kiko comes away with a second. Raga now dead. Lysor able to peel back a single kill as Brock will fall. Just quickly trying to scale in around the back here at Art. Goes into the cosmic form though, and the timing is just so catastrophic. Kiko finds that 3rd. No Man trying to stay dialed in on this angle. The Thorn's going to be popped. Smada's just boxed into the corner. Smada still down on the floor. Now, NRG still with that player advantage, but they're looking to take it away as Happyway starts to try to swing forward, but it's going to be Kiko taken out. As No Man finds him on that stair side. Checks around the back, very suspicious about a potential lurk through water, but none to be found. So Spike is going to be in hand for Scuba.
You've evened the numbers up, so you have to be a little bit cautious here, have to be a little bit smart. NRG tapping, looking for a response. XLG happy to wait this out.
Now they have to commit to it. Mata just looking for that timing swing out of the Nebula, shifts away, and Happyway will be able to collect the kill. XLG looking good to secure this unless Scuba can come away with another Red Bull clutch to peek in, and now Happyway will hold his own. A solid shot into the defuse. XLG double up.
No, this is really nice stuff for XLG. And exactly what I was kind of hoping for out of this round, to see that op moving around, being really proactive from the get-go, not getting any contact at long B. You're taking control of that orb. You're forcing the hand of NRG to the other side. And even though it looks a little bit shaky here for a moment, because No Man is able to get there with that operator in time,
Come on!
he's able to hold the line and stall NRG out. So I'd say, if anything, it's a little bit concerning here for NRG at times because they're dropping that spike early. They're having a tough time like finding their footing to get those plants down, to get into post plants sometimes. So that's something that maybe,
oh boy,
a lot of these ults, and of course.
Yeah, Brock is bringing out the Odin.
Blinding breath.
Let's see what kind of value he's going to be able to get out of this. It's something that he's not been leaning into quite as much so far this year.
He just had to prove that he could do it.
Yeah.
With anything. He's literally great with every gun that's in his hands. He has been absolutely stellar. One of the best players we have at this event so far.
Shock darts again, falling shy of the mark, unable to scout out this Vice util. It's just a bit of a change up here from Happyway to try to slow down the approach. Initial bait out on the wall. Nico at the ready. We'll just be investing that Steel Garden for now. XLG going to be zoned away as they look to try to get their players in position for a swift retake.
Spike planted.
Are being placed. They'll run it back now. In play. Raga going to try to see if he can swing the corner, clear anything out. Meanwhile, the Armageddon's going to be called in over towards that tower side. Cosmic Divine going to be invested. Ethan eliminated. Happyway able to find that headshot, but look at the lurk forward from Mata. He's able to intercept. Obviously, Leo turns back though, and Lysor strikes him down as well as Kiko. The defuse now going to be interrupted. Nearly taking a half. Counter concuss going to be sent through. They're going to look to just try to stick this one, and Lysor's got him covered. The defuse is in. And XLG with 3 players surviving, nipping at the heels of NRG, just 1 round away from tying it up again as Lysor secures the 4K.
Massive round from Lysor. And a massive round for XLG. because both teams invest a lot of ults into this, and they're the ones who come through with the victory. Yes, you're going to use that, finally use that Phoenix ult, and it gets a ton of value. You got Lysor's ult for the post plant, and he makes the most of it. It should be their time because they've been here so many times. Yes, they got through one time at Champions in the playoffs, but in general, they've struggled. They've been grouped every other time. And this is a team who's got shooters, they've got fraggers, they've got a good coach, they've got good ideas, but when they get to the big stage, in my opinion, it felt like they weren't playing with that same gusto, that same confidence that they had in China. Just a little bit of control here. Ethan doesn't want to mess with it too much. No man trying to find as deep of an angle as he can for that operator, and he will be given that space, so XLG can have a pretty good idea of this. Prowler not going to find anything, so Rarga going to feel comfortable to scoop up the orb and back off, but that's NRG's go signal. They're saying, okay, let's get in there.
Salvo out. Ethan just going to be caught on that. They have the reveal, but just unable to get onto the angle fast enough to really find a punish. Lana just going to eat a little bit, pushing past, wrapping around box, and will not be able to find much of anything, but look at the stack from XLG. 4 players in position. It's just no man alone over at B-Long with that operator. Is NRG going to try to up the pace here, but pretty decently favored for XLG. Initial volley of util, nothing going to be found. Saturate chucked into the back. Mana facing forward, trying to take that fight. Will end up losing his life, but the rest of his team picking up the pieces. Leo needing to deliver, but he cannot. Will just get picked apart, and now that operator to be saved. The timeout call looking good for NRG, who managed to persevere despite this stack from XLG.
Yeah, that is crazy good coordination here from NRG. The read is there. They are thoroughly countered about as well as XLG can manage in that round. But it did not matter. I mean, again, Mata giving his life for the cause. That's why you have to love him as a player. He'll just walk in and absorb some of that pressure to tee up the others behind him for success, and they knock it out of the park this round. No man, just going to be trying to hold on to this op. Looks like he's going to be given the opportunity. Scuba was kind of trying to suss him out over on the defender side of the map, but he is nowhere to be found. Scuba will be one away from his ult. Leo will have the Nightfall coming in to the next round. Just everybody there knows their job on NRG. Ethan's right there to back up Mata. Brock's watching their backside. Kiko's got Ethan's back. That's just beautiful setups there. Great protocols.
Still though, these 2 key figures on XLG that have not been able to get the ball rolling. Leo got his first kill on the board in that previous round. Finally has his first Nightfall of this half. But Rarga's right there with him. 1 in 7.
Take flight.
For a player who should be dominating on this global stage. I need to see that activation sooner rather than later, as Lysor will just catch that straight dart through, but can backpedal out to safety.
It's always been the tragic story of Rarga, is he's slow to start at internationals. As good as he is domestically, when he finds the global stages, he just doesn't seem to find that success. And hopefully he can start getting it turned around here. As that operator, I was thinking, oh man, once XLG got that in their hands, it was really starting to turn around, but NRG able to flip things around a bit in that previous one. Getting a big win, getting the spot there is Scuba, but not able to find any damage onto Lysor.
But here comes the exec. Saturate out, Mata just gonna go diving forward once again. In towards Halls, clears it, doesn't see anything, but Ethan will be catching a bullet as Lysor's able to find a kill as well. Scuba gonna be taken down, but Kiko holding his own. Lurching forward into that smoke, comes away with 2 eliminations, bringing it back into a 3v3. The Nightfall now to be invested as Brock is isolated back at Halls, does still have that spike in hand. Not willing to go for the commit yet, and Mata trying to get this rewrap on tower, but Rarga does shut him down, and he's anticipating this second layer from Kiko. He cannot stop him. 3 kills online, should be dead on his swing, but he still comes away with a 4th. Brock gets the finisher, and NRG now moving up 6-3.
Well, Kiko again was instrumental for NRG in the run. Yes, Brock has been tremendous throughout all of Stage 1, but Kiko came alive as Americas went on. And this is him. He wins this round for them. This is a great read in some ways from XLG. They get a couple early kills and they want to try to just shut the door on the round, but Kiko had other thoughts. And then they use that Nightfall, and Rarga reads that really well. He understands that Nightfall didn't hit anybody. There's a possibility they get behind me, and he reads it, but then Kiko just there to clean up the mess. Blade Storm again, but a crunch being set up in towards mid, and nobody going to be knocking for NRG. They're taking their time. That Vice Flash again, set up to counter that Phoenix Flash if they try to push through. Kiko, though, starting to feel the heat.
And just a slow drift back around the corner, looking to join in with the rest of the team. Taking firm control over this A main position. That Flash going to be getting the confirmation, so the wall now going to be set up. Will be a quick trip from Rarga. Is Mata nearby enough? Will start going his separate ways. Double back through Art. NRG considering a pivot. No, looks like it will just be a quick check around behind on that flank, but XLG now getting players in a position to re-crunch through that Art side.
Done a great job dodging a lot of the confirmed information here, but Leo down to 1 HP. Have his work cut out for him there at Secret.
Still does have that haunt available, but he sends it out early before the exec has really come through. Saturate over to the stairs. The dive in from Mata. Gets the spot out here. Wants to try to go ahead and pick apart this final kill. Will be able to do it as WS Leo gets taken down. Re-swings back into the site, and they're just not really paying attention to him. He's able to find a second, but Lysor No Man able to peel back a little bit of the pressure, but now it'd have to be a monstrous clutch from No Man with these knives in hand. Swings out, finds the first, gets back around the wall, looking for that kill on Mata, but he cannot find it. Mata collecting 3 as NRG lock up a lead at the half, 7-3, and potentially could balloon this up to 9.
This wall here just doesn't really give a lot of space. The Cosmic Divide sort of cuts XLG off. They don't have much information. They're just trying to flood through the choke, and
He can't hit me when I do that, bro. You can't hit me. You can't hit me.
I don't think he can hit him.
I'm not so sure.
By any means
He seemed
necessary.
pretty confident, but now you're back into the ult cycle for NRG.
2 more rounds to be played. Steel Guard and to take away these fresh weapons that XLG gonna be trying to cling to. Another convergent paths available as well. For now, drone forward, checking around towards the back of that Art box. Doesn't see anything, and NRG immediately just storm forward, claiming this space as their own.
Confirmation of the Vice Wall, and they're just going to keep pushing forward.
Gets collected, Ethan 2 away from having an Armageddon. That's going to be the convergent paths sent through. That's right around that corner, but Mata overstepping, ends up getting shut down as Happyweight comes alive. 2 quick kills found from him. Brock and Kiko both will get eliminated, but Ethan able to peel back a little bit of that pressure to the dive forward. The full flash connecting. Won't be the snapback on the ultimate, but Ethan at 13 HP, as good as he is, I don't see him clutching his way out of this one. Spam towards dugout, will just grab up the Odin, but Leo counter sprays through, finds it, and XLG looking to try to fight back, secure a 5th round win in this half. So they make it up to 4.
And again, I feel like NRG kind of committing a little bit ahead of where they need to. Yeah, you have the convergent pass, but Rarga dodges it and is there to back up his teammate. Oh my goodness, Happyway. That was pretty nasty. I will say this, XLG can put on a show with their flicks. Saw it time and again in China. Now you're getting to see it here on the global stage. See if they can get another one, make this 7-5, then you make me a believer.
Scale forward.
Ooh, this is
Checking that club side of the counter swing comes in. He will be absolutely dead. No Man continuing to try to scale, and there it is. It's just a matter of time before they find him, and Mata will quickly connect with his skull. Peek in, sees Happyway on the other side, but just cannot get that off the sing. Steel Garden now to be invested here as Happyway desperately trying to backpedal out, survives with 15 health. NRG able to try to push forward and take control of this site, but WS Leo, he's got that Odin and he's using it against Brock. Brings it back into a 4v4, but the spike now in play. NRG looking for this 8th round win. XLG needing to get this retake going, but if you're just gonna continue to spray and pray and be rewarded for it, then hold down M1, Leo. Push out over the top, but Kiko, oh, they all just line up for him. Looking for the 4K, now needs it. Flash set up, the swinging from Raga. And he will be able to sit him down. The fuse is in, and XLG rescue the half by getting up to 5.
I mean, this is so encouraging to see XLG shooting their way out of some bad situations. The early pressure that NRG is able to create there, really brilliant. They know that they've got Happyway isolated in back alley, so they throw the ultimate, they throw the Tejo salvos at the door to try to keep him pinned in. He just barely squeaks through. They give up some space, but it's the confidence. This is exactly what you want to see from XLG.
Rescuing this half in a pretty big way. If they can find the opening pistol, then who knows? Maybe they can just get themselves right back into this one. And RG, though, for the moment, still going to be out in front. But let's go ahead and send it over to Frankie as we go to the halftime. She's standing by with Valorant and Trent.
Players and NRG were going to take over, but XLG actually had similar scenes. You know, you saw great plays from the likes of Lysor, Happyway, No Man, and then there at the end, Raga coming alive. I hope that's a sign of things to come here on this attacker side, because NRG, one of the best defender side teams we have in the world. So this is always going to be a tough task. The thing that always concerned me about XLG watching them in the lead up to this event is if they can get the ball rolling on the attacker side, they're fearsome. They're so scary. They're keeping you on your back foot. They're not making a ton of mistakes. But if you give them if they give their opponents a little bit of breathing room, they can get into early ops, things like that, then all of a sudden things really start to slow down and start to shut down for them. And like the desk was talking about before this is a very slow attacker side team. They really like to take their time. And NRG surely aware of it. This is kind of interesting though. Leo trying to sell a little bit of a fake here.
The push forward, clearing out that vice wall, the swing in. Kiko just kind of dancing around it. They both get dinked, but it's going to be WS Leo taken down. Kiko holding his own. Scoop on that quick little corner check. Get the spot out, seeing No Man. Should give solid enough information to NRG that this is where the spike is intended to rest. Dash forward, and he's trying to disrespect the salvo. He eats an immense amount of damage for that. Well, flashed out, but on the reswing, Raga will be able to strike him down. But loses his life as Kiko again able to find another elimination. They are just running all over them. NRG just sprint their way back into the site, and suddenly it's Happyway, and he just doesn't have the health nor the shots to make it happen. NRG finding themselves another pistol win as they move up 8-5.
This just felt a little too slow from XLG. I think if they're a little bit more pacey with this B hit behind the fake sell from Leo on the other side of the map here, I think they can actually get into a plant situation, maybe even get into a post plant, but this takes so long to formulate that NRG goes, no one's coming behind Leo. I think we can start rotating the other way pretty quickly, and like you said, they get a visual confirmation as well, and they're very fast to move to that B site and bail out Scuba, and they do. And their crossfires, their entries, that's where NRG is at their best, man. They're so well disciplined.
Let's see if they can work some of that thrifty magic again to try to jumpstart the second half. Rock just trying to get these kills through. Will still find plenty of damage dealt. Dashboard, the spam back in, and Raga gonna be caught as he's able to find one. No Man will be able to get the kill, but cannot collect the weapon. Immediately will get taken down. Spike in play, just classics to try to make a go of this, and Mata going to be re-clearing this angle, anticipating the position, and locks on to that second shot. Happyway now down.
Not ready.
Spray and pray through, and oh, Lysor gets spotted, and he's lucky to be alive. Might not last too much longer, though. Does manage to find a timing, making this a little bit more costly. Is okay, Brock. Bit over-eager there. Jumps forward, and that will be 3 players dead, but the round still goes the way of NRG.
Yeah, maybe, again, a little bit shaky here for NRG despite the round win. You're pretty happy with that damage as XLG. You took 3 guns away. You're able to do a little bit of damage. I mean, this is pretty good stuff, and you caught NRG on some really awkward timings with those pops out of the smoke up towards Art.
One enemy.
And eventually, sure, NRG gets there. Kiko with another multi-kill round. He is going absolutely berserk. 20 and 10 right now. But it still feels a little off-kilter for NRG. It just doesn't feel like they're quite comfortable in some of their decision-making and some of their coordination between their players. At times, they look great. At other times, it feels like they're not all on the same page just yet.
And this is a really weak bonus, just the 2 Guardians. The Sheriff and a Ghost to try to get a little bit more oomph there, but they're going to have their work cut out for them if they want to try to convert this one. Raga just going to be playing Orb Collection, 1 away from that run it back. They're drifting away. This is the lighter side, but no real scouting done on this A side of the map. So now they're going to be re-ramping back across, but it looks like NRG are making a call for a pivot as, again, WS Leo sending that Prowler forward. Gets NRG interested.
They're going to have a pretty good read on this here pretty shortly. Ethan saw enough. They kind of understand that there could be art pressure. So NRG lining up to try to defend the A site, trying to keep XLG corralled on that side of the map as best as they can. Lysor, though, he still hasn't seen anything, but they're confident to make this rotate. This is a crazy read from XLG.
Might just be rewarded, but you do have that final boss on the other side, Kiko. He's been holding his own this entire map, and now Mata looking to play intercept this WS Leo. He's making all the noise in the world. Mata just trying to find this timing. Will trip the wall. And it's a shot right to the back of the head. Leo dropped. Run back now, committed to the up and over. They look to try to take this whole position. Kiko, however, lying in wait, is still able to find one. He's in with this one, but Rocket pushed forward over towards that street side, is able to intercept, finding a kill on Amada. Spike now, committed to, is Ethan strafing out, gets right on top of that molly, it looked like, and still is able to find the shot on the Rocket. Scuba, he gets happy way, and Brock takes down Lysor. Weaponry be damned, NRG once again coming out on top. Completely unfavored going into this. They will hit double digits as they convert the bonus.
That could be the nail in the coffin here for map 1 of Masters London. Just a nice read from Mata. Able to tuck himself into the window. Wait the players of XLG out, catches the rotate. It's similar to the pistol round here for XLG, and NRG has a suspicion of it where it's going to be WS Leo all on his own. They've been trying to sell some fakes, but the thing about XLG is they like to play a lot of 4-1. It's not always the same players in that 1-4. That's kind of the trickery they're going to try to impose on you. But if you can get the read early on where that 1 is, you know where the 4 is, and you can make good ideas, good reads, good rotates off of that. That's exactly what NRG's been doing here.
And now you've got that outlaw back in the hand here from Mata. Just looking to give them fits as it's a couple sheriffs, some bandits, and a stinger for XLG to try to pull off what now starts to feel like a miracle.
To make matters worse, you used your first Phoenix all to the half there in that previous round as well for XLG, so now you're back to trying to accumulate orbs for Rarga. Overstacking in towards mid. Ethan gonna be just doing a little bit of check of that, but it's just gonna come down to timing and some shots here for XLG if they can clear some space.
Pop flash out, Ethan. Just trying to layer in that stun, has the salvo as well to intercept them and hold them at bay at stairs. So this sees Molly getting committed over towards dugout, but no one home for that to connect onto. Still slowing this approach, a spray and pray from Ethan through that nebula. Is able to find No Man, so Jet now eliminated. Stinger will get recollected, Raga has that in hand. It looks like they want to try to fight forward over towards Secret side, but won't be able to really get a go of that. Meanwhile, Happyway, unnoted so far. Eventually have some damage, but the rest of his team is getting picked to pieces as Raga gets taken down here on the site. Leo tagged up low, swing in the corner. Second shot will be able to find the elimination on Kiko, but there's a lineup as Mata gets a collat. And now it is just Happyway, and he cannot do a damn thing about it. A 3K for Mata, 11 rounds for NRG.
Love some of the wrinkles in the defensive setups we're seeing here from NRG, in particular in how they're rotating to counter XLG when they're going for their plants, and it's Mata who's kind of all over the map here. You're setting players, that are trailing behind the XLG players as they're going for flanks, so they have kind of counter moves already built in. They're doing a really good job of tracking those extra players of XLG to make sure that they're accounted for. So far, a flawless defender's half. Now you're into the Odin, now you're into the Op, now you're into ults for NRG to make matters worse here for XLG. Challenging round. If they can get this one, it's gonna take a while to get there, but I start to feel like maybe they can rattle something together. They're gonna get underneath Mata's nose.
There's the spot out, and there's the kill, Raga. Early shutdown found, but Scuba be the real one to try to spring this trap, but strips back a recheck on this long position. Not going to be rewarded with a sightline. Very much anticipating this position, though, from No Man. Plays the anti-flash. Just waiting for that peek. And there it is, but what a shot. Quick clearance, No Man. Keeping them in with a player advantage. Now the tailwind forward. Kiko still going to be fighting back. However, as Raga's going to be taken down. Re-swings back through halls, but No Man flushes him out.
Charges.
Now just Brock and Ethan. Ladder of which does have this read on the flank. Will be able to intercept and get the kill here on the Happy Way. Now that it's brought into a 2v3, Ethan says no, re-wrap back towards B site. We can get this retake going.
Got plenty of cash. I think this is well worth a try at this point.
No salvos. Does still have that stun, a shock dart, and a recon available now that Brock arrives on the scene. Will just be the clear of that dart over at long. Shock dart, unable to find anything, but it does get the push forward onto Leo. It's taken low, but XLG going to be able to clean things up. A massive round from Nomad, gets himself the 3K, and keeps XLG afloat.
This is really solid stuff. Again, they're using that little timing window they have off the back of the smoke to get underneath Mata. And this is a huge win for XLG because, again, going back to their domestic, kind of appearances that they had, the operator was often where they started to stumble on their attacker side. Going up against it seemed to cause them problems. Here, they had a game plan early to shut it down. Now, yes, there's enough money, again, for NRG to buy into it. But signs of life and a few ults to toy around with as well here. XLG.
Get very messy very quickly. They run it back nearly there. Lysor as well. One charge off having that Cosmic Divide available.
Drone is down.
And there's 7 ults. Ready to be brought forward into this round.
It's going to be a bit dicey. Make sure that they can get every last ounce out of it as they squeeze through. Arga going to be taking that run it back over now towards the other side of the map, but Mata posted up so deep with that operator.
And this is allowing for all of NRG to continue to lean towards B.
So now you got to make a
right position, and it looks like Leo again is going to be trying to just maybe sell this fake, but it might just end up costing him his life. Haunt out should be able to tuck away from this one. There's the peak, but no, Mata going to be delayed on the shot. In fact, eats an immense amount of damage. Will away at down to 39. And now he's got to be suspicious. This flank is going to be coming through from that art side. Drone from Brock, however, will be able to find a good timing, getting the spot out as there's the ult commit from Raga. Reveal coming through, and it's going to be the Thorns actually to be able to snap him back. Meanwhile, Steel Garden going to be traded out here. A stalemate, but Blazewall set up as Raga tries to escort them forward. They're trying to get this spike in play. It's 12 seconds remaining. They cannot lose this one to the clock. Nomad able to find that knife through. Ethan going to be struck down. Hiko, however, still continuing to try to hold this. The time isn't there. Trying to commit to it now as Shockdet's going to go layered in. Will be able to try to get that in play, but it's just not there. They waited way too long. XLG have absolutely shipped it up the river. They just sink.
Oh my.
No paddles, no flotation, no life vests, and no round win.
Yeah, the boat's full of holes. Just barely, but
What?
that one's incredibly frustrating. They had a pretty good chance there to at least get the plant through and force NRG into a bad situation. Instead,
they committed so many ultimates.
Yeah.
Everything other than this Cosmic Divide
that's
used to no avail. That is a heartbreaker of a round here. It's XLG. They need 6 in a row to try to take this into overtime. Otherwise, I think it's best to just start focusing forward on your map pick of Lotus. It's coming up next.
this round. NRG just spreads out, gives them a little bit of space. Happy Way finds the timing. Oh, he can't get the kill.
And that could be a critical miss. Scuba staying alive means that he's going to be able to offer up that Astra util, and then he can still absolutely find damage. At the same time, Nomad Lysor now going to be picked to pieces. A 3v5 to try to hold out, to keep this map going. But a peek in, it's going to be Happy Way eliminated. Scuba will be finished off as Zamali. He's able to find him. Mana up and over the top, maybe getting the spun of these players here at backside. But Ethan just puts his life on the line, sets it up for Kiko, who will be able to collect it. 13-6, NRG take the opening map over XLG here at Masters London.
First half looked a little bit shaky for NRG, but they came back with a vengeance on their defender's side. really shutting the door on XLG there. And off the back of a tremendous start to Masters London for the hometown hero of Kiko. Beautiful stuff from him. 26 kills to kick off the event.